Hey guys, it's Kristin. So I am doing a podcast, as you can clearly see by the title, or if you're on iTunes or wherever you are, it's obvious. I'm doing a podcast, but I'm really excited / nervous because I don't really know what I'm doing as far as podcast goes. But I have been doing YouTube videos for a very long time. Like I want to say probably 15 to 20 years, something like that. It's crazy. We'll get into that on a different podcast, like things that I did before or like platforms that I was on before. But in this one, I just wanted to kind of talk about like why I wanted to do a podcast, how I came up with the name, like things like that. So pretty much scatterbabble is what I'm calling this podcast. I went back and forth debating what I should call this for weeks. Oh my gosh. What a process. It was very frustrating. My brain started to hurt because I feel like you kind of like when you're in a situation, you start overthinking it and then you can't see like it from an outsider's point of view, or you need like a different perspective. So what kept happening was that I would come up with this name and I'd be like, this is an awesome name. And then like 2 or 3 days later, I'd be looking at it or I'd be saying it again. And I was like, this is so stupid. I'm not calling my podcast this name. So just to give you an example, I really wanted there to be some sort of like Canadian theme because I'm Canadian. It's like in my blood. I'm a Canadian citizen. I was like, let's do something Canadian. So I came up with a few names, and one that a lot of people liked was Loonie, because Loonie is the Canadian dollar. But it also can be used to describe a personality trait, like stuff like that, describing word. So I was going to call it the Loonie Podcast. And I was like, I love this. It's so cool. And then I was like, I would never use loony as a word to describe myself. And it reminds me of Looney Tunes. So then I was like, no, I can't call it that. So we went back to the drawing board, and I don't know why I say we, it was me. I went back to the drawing board. So I came up with this name actually just yesterday, and I've been sitting on it for 24 hours. I did a poll on Twitter. You might've been part of that. I texted like everyone I could think of to ask them. I came down with 3 names, and this is what came out is Scatter. Wow, I already forgot the name of my podcast, Scatterbabble. So the reason why I came up with this is because my brain is very scattered all the time. I'm constantly at any point in time thinking about 15 things at the same time. And usually it's very random, weird things that don't make any sense. And I figured babble is a good way to describe like talking. But really it came down to, I looked up, I had a different name. I forget what it was now. I can't even think of it. But I pretty much went on thesaurus because someone I know what it was. It was mind to mouth, which I thought was a cool name for a podcast too, but somebody already has that. So then I was like, okay, well, what's another word for mind? And I don't know why, but in that moment, one of my favorite games came into my brain, and it was Scattergories. I love the game Scattergories. So I was like, ooh, scattered. My mind is very scattered. That is a great word to describe it. So then I was doing some research on like things like mouth, right? So what's another word for mouth? So this is pretty much how I came up with this. And at first it was scattered babble, and I was like, that's really hard to say. So then I shortened it to Scatterbabble. So that's pretty much how this name came about. And I'm being like totally serious. My brain is ridiculous. And what's funny is that Hannah, my youngest one, is exactly the same. She is so random, but I get it because we'll be sitting in the car talking about, let's say we're talking about, going school shopping. And she'll be like, pizza's really good with, extra cheese. And we're like, we're not talking about pizza. Like, what are you talking about? But I know how she got to that. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we're talking about grocery shopping. I'm coming up with a grocery list, and I'm just going to do it randomly right now. I have not planned this out. So I'm thinking we need to buy chicken. Oh, chickens are so cute. They're all fluffy and stuff. I wish I had chickens. I wonder how hard that would be to get chickens. I wonder if I need a permit for chickens. What else does the city require permits for? Is there a cost for permits? That would be a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. Oh, I need to start saving money. I wonder if I can go to work and start saving money and putting it aside in my savings account. Like, do you see how I just went from grocery shopping to now contacting my work about savings? That is how my brain works on a regular basis. So when we're talking about school supplies and she starts talking about pizza, I already know that she has gone from school supplies to pizza in her brain, and just pizza is what came out of her mouth. So that's exactly what happens to me all the time. And so that's why I figured scattered is like a very good word to describe my brain. And then babble just fit. So scatterbabble, and that doesn't exist. I did some searches. No one has the name scatterbabble, so I figure it's really good. The only thing I'm concerned about is that Tyler Oakley has a podcast that's called Psychobabble. So I am concerned that people will be like, oh, she just copied the name and changed one of the things. But that's not how I got to it. So... But pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have decided if you're watching this on a YouTube video, you'll notice I'm not wearing headphones. We did a test last week with my kids after their first day of school. We tried it with headphones. I cannot stand it. I don't like the feeling of it on my ears. And, if you're doing a podcast for 30 minutes to an hour or something like that, like this is TMI, but I got so sweaty around my ears, like the side of my face was all sweaty. I took them off, and it's just the headphones were sweaty and my head, and I was like, this is so gross. And I just know for me that if I don't make this process easy and fun and whatever, I'm not going to do it. So we're going podcasting without headphones. And I know there's a few other people that do that, but just if you're wondering why I'm not wearing headphones, that is why. So anyways, this is going to be a quick, short video. Hopefully, I'm only at like 6 minutes or something, video/podcast. But I just wanted to pretty much do a quick introduction. Bear with me because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to be learning this as I go, hopefully reaching out to friends who have podcasts to ask for advice. And then, I said this in the trailer, but pretty much what I want this podcast to be is just something really fun to tell, like fun stories of things that have happened in the past. So I am going to have hopefully friends come on here. I want my best friend to come on and my cousin. My cousin and I have so many funny stories. Like, every time I think of a funny story, it usually involves my cousin Katie. She's been in a couple of my videos, but it's really hard to do stuff with her because she lives in Canada and it's like 1,600 miles away. So we have to do everything, over the phone or through Skype, or we try to film stuff like when I do go see them, which hasn't been for a really long time. But yeah, so I hope to have them on. I would really love to have Matt on here, my boyfriend. I'm just not sure if that I feel like I'm going to have to talk him into it and really work on him to convince him to do this, because this is not really his thing. I've definitely seen him open up though when I do my vlogs on my channel, I Am Kristin. Sometimes he'll start like adding things in and he'll get more comfortable, and he's definitely opened up with that. So I'm hoping he'll open up with podcasting, because he is one of the funniest people I know, but it's like not intentional, which makes it even more funny. So I would love to get him on here to just kind of like do this with me every once in a while. But for the most part, it might be just mainly me. And then I also want to have my kids on here because they are all so unique and they all bring different things to the table. My middle one right now it's her first year of high school. She's super nervous. Well, they're all in a new school too. And I feel bad because like we've moved them multiple times. So they're pretty much starting over again. But she's already told me a bunch of funny stories. And then my youngest one is just like me. My God, it's hilarious. And then my older one, it's almost like, it's not even like a child anymore. He's 16 and a half. I think he's closer to 17 now than he was at 16. But it's like talking to an adult. So I don't know. I'm going to have hopefully a lot of different people on here. One concern I do have though is like noise control, because my dogs follow me everywhere. If I try to lock them in a different room, they just start barking or scratching at the door. So knock on wood, right now they're being so good. I cannot believe they haven't barked or anything. So that's going to, I think, be my only challenge. But anyways, like I said, I don't want to keep this one too long. I think I'm almost at 10 minutes. But see, this is the reason too why I wanted to do a podcast. You have no idea how much footage I like edit out of my videos because I just start rambling and just talking. And I was like, and that's where it kind of came the idea of like, I wish I had a podcast because I feel like it could really fill space. Like I could talk and talk and talk about just 100 million different things and, keep things going or whatever. And with videos, I feel like you can't have videos too long or people get like really bored. But with a podcast, you can just put it on in the background, in your car, whatever, and just kind of listen. And, some people really, really love listening to like talk radio or whatever you want to call it. So anyways, that's pretty much all I'm going to say for today. I'm so excited. If you are watching this as a YouTube video, you might see, I don't even know what you're going to see on the background because I have a green screen up right now. I'm trying to decide if I want to have, the green screen up so that I can change the backgrounds or if I'm going to have just a plain background. So I have to think about that as well. But other than that, that's pretty much it for today's vlog. Wow. Oh boy. Yep. See, this is already going to happen. I'm going to have to get out of vlog mode and into podcast mode. Although I'm kind of doing both right now at the same time. But anyways, that's it for today's podcast. I really hope you guys liked it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe because that will, I believe, notify you when I do upload a new video /podcast. But that's pretty much it. So hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and then hit this bell so you're alerted when I upload a new video.